there's no question that Russia is facing the most severe economic test in 15 years right now. And the kind of response that the Russian government will ultimately give to that crisis will determine the future of the Russian economy, and maybe more than just the future of the Russian economy in the years to come. So I wouldn't want to minimize the challenges that Russia is facing. On the other hand, this crisis could be a salutary one if properly used. If you want to reform your economy, diversify it, make it modern, oil at 100 is not your friend, not even oil at 80. If oil hits 60, 50, or 40, this is when you have no choice but to diversify, but to innovate and do other things. Well, whether Russia will do it or not will depend very much on the Russian government and on the Russian people. But what I'm saying is that the crisis, for the first time, is giving Russia an opportunity to wean off this overly big reliance on oil and gas and hydrocarbons more broadly. As a Russian, you feel you have not done a great job with your economy when the economic situation was good. The Russian economy today is not what it can be. So if you use the crisis to change the economy, to start producing more, to develop your own domestic market more, to develop your particularly medium and small size enterprises, if you manage to demonopolize your economy so that it's not totally controlled by a few monopolies here and there, then I think this crisis will go down in history as a good crisis for Russia. And I think people are prepared to suffer, but they will not suffer simply to please the fat cats. If they see that something good is coming out of the government's policies, then they would accept temporary loss in living standards, and they will be compensated by a different kind of an economy and a different kind of a future for themselves and their children.
It's an excellent prescription, Dmitri. Is it going to be filled? Especially when you talk about monopolies and the...
I have a problem with that. Russia is ruled by the same people today as it has been ruled for the past 15 years. So the people who missed the previous 15 years, in my view, should not necessarily be trusted to reform now. But I'm keeping an open mind. Things are changing. People may change. People may be rotated out of power. Russia may find itself in a situation in which it only has, it will have run out of all bad options. When you're back to the wall, and all the bad options that you had exercised to try to buy yourself more time so that things remain the same, all these options have been exercised, and you have only the good options. But the good options always tend to be the hardest and the most difficult ones. I don't know. As I said, I have no illusions about the people in power in Russia today. Not the people who would be able to do it. I think there's capacity for reform, no question. Russia has a body of very professional, very experienced people. I'm talking more about the political masters. The political masters have little interest, frankly, in reform because it goes against the grain. It goes against their own interest often. We'll see.